everyone, it is Evan here from the Trade Risk on Wednesday, June 6th. We're intraday right now, and we're going to look through a handful of different charts, some different individual stock ideas, trade setups for your watch list, some names that I'm paying attention to that you may find interesting. I got seven names to go through today, 4 from my watch list, 3 from our partners over at Investors Business Daily. So we're going to look at 7 names, individual, all on the long side. And again, just a reminder here, if you're not familiar with sort of my trading approach or style, I tend to only trade individual stocks to the long side, and I look at major ETFs, so indices, sectors for short exposure. So all of these names are going to be on the long side. Just keep in mind the context of the market, right? We've had a good run in the short term. We're a bit extended here, as you can kind of see in the cues. So do your due diligence. Nothing here should be a rush out and buy immediately, but some names to at least pay attention to going over, the next several days or so. So let's jump into it here. Our first name we're going to look at is H. And again, I try and locate some more of the under the radar names, and also names that are still fairly actionable, not names that are extended higher. So H is the first one here. What I like about Hyatt here, Hyatt Hotels, is that we got this nice base breakout back in May, so just a couple of weeks ago, and we're getting a nice pullback now. So really the breakout, essentially occurred last Friday. So I guess June was really when it occurred on the first here. And that was, again, resolving this nice kind of multi-month range. And now we're getting a nice pullback, lower volume, back towards some of these rising moving averages and the breakout level. So if you're interested in pullbacks, if that's the type of trader you are, this is something to pay attention to. And especially you longer term holders, this is the weekly chart, very clean, looks good, looks strong, nice breakout. So still fairly actionable. I like to set up quite a bit. So that's Hyatt. That's number 1. Second here on my watch list is ATI. This one here a little bit sloppy in maybe just in this 2950 area. We've been up here a couple of times and failed. We had this tail up here rejected back up here on the 1st of June. But if we look at the weekly chart here and we kind of zoom in, you can see the structure a little cleaner. We've got this clear resistance right around 29. Sometimes if you prefer to use all the way up to $30 at the top end of some of these of these wicks here going back to January of 2018, then certainly by all means. But I think we can see kind of the clear resistance in this general area. And when we go down to the daily chart, you can see it's making a nice move. And especially over this past couple of days, especially this day right here, it was a high volume day. It was a rejected, it got mostly rejected, even though this did close positive on the session. It closed well off of its highs. But if we can suddenly start to take out these highs here and we start to get comfortably trading north of $29.50, north of $30, then I think this one can really start to move. And again, it's got this nice base here. So ATI, something to pay attention to there on the long side. TLND. So here's a more sort of near-term actionable swing trade idea. It tried to get going today. Remember, we're intraday right now. It got as high as 59.25. It has since pulled off. It's still up about 1% on the session, but we get some good rejection going on up here. But it's something to pay attention to, and if it doesn't trigger today, again, it's something I'm paying attention to on my watch list over the next couple of days. Here's the weekly chart. Nice, strong uptrend. It's a smaller kind of software play here. So something to pay attention to. Nice little flag. Let's look for some continuation. Earnings are out of the way, so I think this presents some good opportunity here as well. Finally, on my watch list is SGMS. So Scientific Games. This one isn't ready just yet, but again, I wanted to bring you some names that have yet to trigger it and could be actionable in the coming days and weeks. And we look at this kind of nice sideways consolidation here. It's had a nice run since beginning of April, from $40 all the way up to $60. So almost a 50% return gain in just 2 months worth of trading, and now it's basing out here near highs, and it's a name that is trading just under its all-time highs. So quite a bit of strength there over the past couple of months. Let's pay attention to this consolidation. Earnings, I believe, are in July, so do check those earnings dates, but something to pay attention to. Next up, we got a name from Investors Business Daily. This is the IBD 50 list here, TAL. So TAL here, you can see is getting a nice kind of continuation move. It had a nice volume move yesterday to the top end of this range. It's continuing today, defensive sector. And you can see here, if we go to the weekly time frame, you can see it's just in a nice strong uptrend, kind of chopped around here for the past several weeks. And now it looks like after this little shakeout day back here on Monday, looks like we are now kind of primed. We've shaken the tree loose, and now we are ready to sort of continue this trend higher to the upside. So TAL looks pretty interesting there, a little extended, but making its way higher. TTT, so this one here, the trade desk, is definitely a momentum play. It's kind of a nosebleed name. It had this gap and go day just a few weeks ago, back on the 11th of May off of earnings. Super high volume, just a big gap higher, and it had a, let's see, a 43% day. So quite the move. And really, though, it's only kind of extended those gains even further. It was trading around $50. It's already close to almost $90. It got there intraday, so it's almost doubled. It's had about an 80% gain in just about a month of trading. So it's certainly nosebleed. It's certainly a momentum play, but if you are a shorter term momentum trader, this is very much in play, and who knows, we may get a squeeze up to that nice round $100 level. So TTD, something to pay attention to. And last but not least, fairly actionable name here, breaking out, attempting to break out today, ZBRA, also an IBD name, 158 or so, 157. That's the breakout level. That's been resistance here. And the cool thing about this pattern is, you know, we had this gap up on the 8th. So we had this nice move higher, 11%, and it's spent the next couple of weeks here consolidating essentially exclusively through time. We did not get a retracement. We really got no significant attempt to fill this gap in here, and it's just moved sideways, and now it's proceeding to try and break out here to the upside. Here is the weekly chart. Again, you can see just kind of a monster uptrend. Recently broke out back in early May, went sideways, and now it's looking like it wants to try and take out those highs again. So a good name to pay attention to. And that is it. That's what I got for today. It's 7 names, different setups. We got pullbacks, we got bigger base breakouts, we got smaller flag patterns. So there's a little bit of something for everyone, depending on your strategy and time frame. Do your homework though. Just make sure they fit your time frame strategy. Check the earnings dates. Kind of the general caveats I like to you know, mention here when we're looking at trade ideas. And don't forget, if you like the tail end of those 3 names, those IBD lists, those names, curated stocks for your watch list, check the description link in this video for more info there. So thanks so much, and talk to you guys on Friday for our weekend market recap video.